Nowadays, streamline schools also look forward that kids are already being ready-madely given to them. They are not ready to put those efforts like what she said in our age, what the teacher is.
What you are going to do it. So when you get into playgroup or nursery, though they are 3+, they'll not be able. Few kids, if you see, they are fast learner, moderate learner, slow learner. We have different phases, different. So now we are getting into different.
Educators are constantly navigating a delicate balance between structure and spontaneity, between meeting developmental benchmarks and nurturing a child's natural curiosity. While a standardized curriculum can offer consistency and direction, isn't creativity what truly brings learning to life in the early years? Good afternoon and a warm welcome. You're watching Education News Network. I'm your host, Nitya Krishnamurthy, and today's panel discussion focuses on a question that sits right at the heart of early childhood education: standardization versus creativity. Should preschools follow a fixed curriculum? To explore this, we brought together two experienced educators and leaders who will share their perspectives on how preschools can strike this balance. Through this conversation, we hope to explore not just what works, but what truly matters for young learners in a rapidly evolving world. Let's begin by welcoming our esteemed panelists. We have with us Dr. Rekha N., founder of Cradle to Stars Preschool and Daycare, Bangalore. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
We also have Ms. Nivedha, co-founder of Haven Preschool and Daycare, Bangalore. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
We are happy
To begin
be
the
here.
discussion, I'd first like to invite Dr. Rekha N. So, ma'am, in your experience, what does standardization mean in a preschool context? What does it actually look like? And where do you see it helping or limiting young learners?
Standardization will help, in settling down the kids in the classroom. It gives an, flow for all the same flow for all the kids. Teachers can have their standardized curriculum and the balanced equipments to handle them. Then there will be a clear picture sent to a parents like what is learned today and what is going to happen next. So there is a bridge between a school and teachers and the parents, where the clear picture is laid off to know like how they have learned, what they have learned, what they have used to learn the curriculum or the alphabets or the number or even the rhymes also sometimes. So I think standardization is needed to certain level, but if you go too much of standardization, then preschool will turn into a mini primary school, which is not advisable. So standardization is needed with the limitation of knowing the kids how they need that, how you can implement them in that.
So, Ms. Nivedha, coming to you, do you believe a fixed curriculum provides necessary structure for early childhood development, or does it risk suppressing creativity and individuality?
Before we start with this question, I will start with the Rabindranath Tagore quote. Don't limit a child with your own phase of learning, because they are born in a different timing. So this we should remember before getting into standardization or creativity.
Right.
So we were all grown up with the standardization. We had a proper, because we didn't have a structure of playgroup, nursery. So we exactly started with grade 1. So we don't have a clarity of LKG or UKG, or you can say kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, senior kindergarten. There are so many names which we have come out. So this is all new to us. It's been a 10 years we are getting into this phase of preschool. So we can have the standardization as a framework. Yeah. It is a framework. For example, if you let me take a very simple example, red. At the end, what the child should say, looking at the red color, he or she should say it is a red. That's it. So what creativity I can show so that the child remembers looking at that and saying it is a red. For example, if you take blue, there are a lot of blue families, tail. So what is the creativity I can give them through the activities so that they say it is a tail color, teal color. So it is like that. So there are a lot of, it is just a basic rainbow color. Out of it, we have a lot of family colors. So to identify that basic color or whatever the color they want. So what is the creativity we are going to give them to learn that color so that it goes throughout their life. So if you ask me a purple family, I'm not good at that, to be open and frank. But nowadays it is not like that, because we have come out with a lot of creativity, mixed of colors, and we are getting new colors. So where do I put my standardization into creativity? Standardization, as ma'am said, it is needed. But it should not stop your child putting them into creativity.
So, Dr. Rekha, how can educators balance developmental milestones with a child's natural curiosity, especially while working within a prescribed framework?
You can always, standardization should have the creativity. When you are teaching them in the classroom about the seasons, then try to ask the kid to express their first favorite seasons and decorate the classroom with that season and ask them to feel, know, then they will understand the season meaning. Otherwise, as 2-year, 3-year old kid, if you say him it's a rainy season, he will only remember the rain dropping down, the water dripping. That's it. That means nothing else. Then if you want them to make them to feel that rainy season, then the classroom should be created, like a raining season, having those raincoats, umbrellas, gumboots and all. Then they feel that, yes, when they wear and feel, okay, these are the things are being worn for a rainy season. So this is, when you say summer, give that flowers, decoration, get them some ice creams to have, get some cool drinks, which is very cool to drink. They remember that, oh, summer means you get cool things, which kids will always experience and understand the concept.
The association
So
needs to be formed.
yes, that is very important. So as much as standardization, how much is important, creativity also is important. You have to balance both of them in such a way that kids are not losing their curiosity and creativity, which is very important for nowadays kids ke liye. Because when they touch and feel and they see, they will remember and memorize it for a long time. So I always believe creativity also should not go beyond the line where they will not be able to understand. There will be a lack of knowledge. That is also there. So even the standardization, creativity should have that framework, as ma'am said, then only it will work. So I believe both has to be maintained. If standardization is a mapping, then creativity is a journey. So journey should be beautiful, means it has to have the creativity, then only it is going to work out. So both are end of a time, choosing one on other. It is better always a preschool should design their curriculum or the activities, both balancing standardization as well as the creativity. I believe both should be balanced equally to make sure the kids are being understand the concepts very easily. Even parents could also understand when they go curiosity, share their information with the parents. They will also understand, okay, the kid has learned this one by using these materials or these options. So when the kid the same things he is at home, he will easily recognize this was the thing which we learnt at school and this is the topic which we have used for. So that is more important. So please, I would always say, like, standardization and creativity are one coin, different faces.
Right. Ms. Nivedha, I'd like to know, in classrooms with diverse learning paces and personalities, how feasible is it to actually adhere to a standardized curriculum without leaving some children behind? I'm sure that's the major challenge of standardization.
Of course, all the preschools as of now. Mainly we face with parents answering their questions. My child know only this. How you're going to make them learn this? My child is not able to speak. What you're going to do it? So when you get into playgroup or nursery, though they are 3+, they'll not be able. Few kids, if you see, they are a fast learner, moderate learner, slow learner. We have different phases, different. So now we are getting into differential learning concept, not only for primary or middle school or senior secondary. So even preschools, we started following with differential learning model.
Okay.
So we don't stop with one activity. See, creativity does not mean only exploring things inside the four walls. How do you explore? Exploration is also meant into creativity. You have to explore things to understand things. For example, if you ask a child, where does the rice come from? Mama, from grocery shop, 1 month so, D-Mart. Especially, it is near to us. Where this comes from? D-Mart. That's what they know. So exactly they don't know. Why don't they go explore? They understand. So that is where when you explore things, your creativity starts. It is not that giving them a clay and do. Creativity doesn't come from that. You have to explore that clay. Only then your creativity starts. So we follow different learning with not completing thing with one activity. We do multiple activity. Along with that, we do field work also. So as I said, we will take them to some field. Look, this is where they put some grains inside the land, they pour water, sun comes and helps out to grow, and then you grow. So we connect each other and we teach them. So few kids will understand when they explore. Few kids will understand when they listen. So there are listening, they have a very good skill of listening. When reading, few kids will understand by reading. Few kids, if you see, they will understand by exploring. Few kids will understand by giving them multiple instructions. So it is not that when you take one topic, we will at least make sure that the kid is able to understand. Only then we will move to the next topic, because exploring or giving them 5 to 6 topics at one shot, and when they don't even understand anything, which is not getting into their mind with their own phase of learning, it is a waste what we are doing. So we give them multiple options, where at least one option, that particular thing will move into them and they will understand the root of that. So we follow differential learning in our classroom. And to maintain this, we have a child psychologist. She always visits us with 15 days once. So it is our passion. To be open and frank, it is my passion to start a preschool. And we have 4 important things: listening, speaking, reading and writing. We concentrate this from the age of playgroup itself, from 2 years. How far they are listening us, how far they are reading us, how far they are writing part us, how far they are listening, reading, speaking. So it comes. So all these 4 we will start, and we do a 360 degree analysis 2 months once, 60 days once. Where do they start? So what we have introduced to them, how far they are able to understand. So to help this out, we have a child psychologist, so that it is easy for us to follow differential learning. So in primary school, that is a different part. Middle school, that is a different part. But handling a toddler or handling a young children, it is very difficult. So we should understand what they are intending, because they don't know to communicate. Whether
that's the main challenge.
They don't know to communicate. So we should know something to understand them. So we also train the teachers. We have training sessions every 6 months. Last December we had this session. So again we will be having it in May. So we should also be able, as I said, we are born in a different phase, and these kids are born in a different timing. So we are not on the same track. My mentality is different, and their things are different, and they are in AI kids. I'm not an AI kid. I'm just completely into bookish. Yeah. So I should understand about the child. Only then I can follow this differentiated learning, and then I can make sure that my child is good enough for this section. 2 years, what they have to know, they should know. If there is a problem, so when you follow differential learning inside the classroom, so if there is a problem with 3-year-old child, what she is not able to make a point that I am fit enough for this 3 age, then the parents can easily sort out those problems in the early age itself, where they need not drag it to the 10 years or 11 years. So this is how we work. This is our style of working.
So it becomes very important to understand what they're receptive
to, and then plan what the child is first.
Because like you said,
whether she is a fast learner or a moderate learner or a slow learner, whether she is a hands-on learning child or whether she is a YouTube child, where if you say or show a video, he or she will be able to understand, or she is exploring child, only if she or he explores the things. First you have to understand the child. Only post that you can go with differentiated learning. So we do this in our school, and we are very proud to say this. Yes.
So, Dr. Rekha, with increasing expectations from parents and institutions for measurable outcomes, how do you think preschools can create space for open-ended and creative learning?
Nowadays, streamlined schools also look forward that kids are already being ready-madely given to them. They are not ready to put those efforts like what she said in our age, what the teacher is to make us to sit, write 10 times 20. But nowadays, the streamlined schools are not ready to work on the kids. They need that ready-made. So what happens is, the preschool is taking that initiative to make sure that kids are being developed properly. Let it be at the any level of like senior kg or junior kg or the nursery. What happens is we have designed the curriculum in such a way that if they get into the streamlined schools, they're easy for the takeoff. What happens, as she said, like many parents walk in with lot of questions saying that my kid is not able to read, the other friend of her is able to read and write, why my kid isn't? So they should first understand that all the kids are not the same. They have different flowers, they have different fragrance, and they have their own time to bloom. So they have to wait for it. You can't just push the kid, so that when you more push the kids, they become emotionally disturbance. Okay, which is not good for them. So we always say parents have lot of patience with when you're teaching at home as well as this school. Okay, some kid which was not able to do in playgroup, nursery, even LKG, UKG, they are able to do very good because we have given them so much of time. Here, even a preschool also, you can't have you should always have a ratio of kids and teachers, which we maintain 10:1, which is standardized. What happens when the group is less, the teacher is able to concentrate on them. And what the parents are accepting from us, like what is the result they want from us, we will be able to deliver it. So that, as she said, like every kid has their own way of understanding the concept. When the teacher is having a lesser ratio, she will be able to understand. For example, one of my kid, Harshita, she needs a personal touch, a push of little. Though she knows, we should always say, Harshita, you can do it. Please finish this. You already done this. Last time we did this with the example of, raindrops and the water saving and all. Okay, then they start doing. Another kid doesn't need the push. She only says, you only give the concept to them, they are ready to finish it. So each and every kids are having their different way of understanding concept. We always say, don't teach how you teach the elder kids. Understand the kid and then make them understand how they are ready to understand the concept. That we believe very much, and we follow it also. As she said, some would listen through the this thing and understand, some could read the picture and understand, some could see the screening and understand, some could do physically and understand. So we always follow this. When the ratio is very less, then you could really follow what she said. It is easy for us, and the outcome will 100% come, because we have proved this year that when the ratio is very less, the outcome will be 100%. Because one of my kid was supposed to go to first standard, now he is being pushed to second standard because of the vocabulary, reading, writing, and understanding the concept, putting across the story in his own way. Okay, so when you give that attention one-on-one, the outcome for the parents, we can show them the output.
So finally, Ms. Nivedha, if you had complete freedom to design your ideal preschool curriculum, what elements would you standardize and where would you intentionally leave room for flexibility?
See, even now, I have taken my own run. I have not gone with any franchisee. It is because I want to frame my own curriculum. So here I had the freedom to frame my own curriculum. So that is where I said listening, speaking, reading and writing. So I'm concentrating on all those 4, which is actually mandatory for the kids who are the future kids. Because if you see, we are able to read and write. Now everyone is just typing into AI and getting all the documents done. So I don't want that to happen for the brain memory should work, right? Yeah. So we will be able to speak out something when you have given a topic. So we have our own curriculum. So I concentrate on listening, speaking and reading, writing, and this will be an it is based on what the standardization will be there. creativity will be there, exploration will be there, and especially timing sense will also be there. So nowadays, if it is school timing also matters a lot when it comes to education. We are pushing our child from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. We are not doing that. We have time slot till 2:30, but we will make sure let them sleep, because this is the age where they have to sleep. Only when you sleep properly, you get a proper brain development. We forget that. We make sure the kids goes to bed after 10 and they wake up at 6. Get their bus at 7. Come to school at 7:30. Have your snacks at 7:45. Get to class at 8 o'clock. This happens even with the playgroup. It is not only with the primary. So this is the routine we are following. We are quite flexible with the timing. So first thing is time flexibility we are giving. And second thing is they have their own room, how they want to learn. But we will make sure that standardization frame is proper. So with this standardization frame, what are all the things I can do for a child so that she feels flexible enough to learn? First thing is timing. Second thing, when comes to snacks. No, it is not like 11 to 11:30. Whenever you're feeling hungry, do let us know. So we will give a time phase. So they feel comfortable. They will understand better. So when they say, Ma, I'm feeling hungry, and they have put to 11 to 11:30, nothing will enter into their mind. So that flexibility is there. Next thing comes to, I want that result. Objective is there, outcome is there, but all these has to happen with lot of activities, not stopping them with one activity as I stated. So it is like, these are the flexibilities I'm having when I frame my own curriculum.
I think discipline doesn't really need rigidity, right?
Of course.
That's what I get.
See, discipline you need, but it need not to be rigid.
Right.
So you have to bring the discipline by just giving them some experience and exploring things. So they will learn the discipline. Punctuality.
Right.
How do you do it?
Yeah. So, Dr. Rekha, would you like to answer the same question? Where would you like standardization and where would you like flexibility in an ideal preschool curriculum?
In the curriculum, learning should be into the standardization. I believe in that. When you have that proper standardization in learning, then they will be able to understand that standardization learning. They need creativity. Simple. So always give both standardization and creativity equal balance, where they can flow by understanding. Maybe senior KG and junior KG kids may not need that more creativity, but the playgroup and the nursery kids need lot of creativity. They understand by touching, play learn basis. We say they understand touch, learn and feel the thing. They say like it is hand, head and heart. They have to have that combination, head, heart and hand. When these three are working, these three H's working, then they are able to understand the concepts very easily. To make them understand, these three things should work always. It should be always active. Like we say, focus on the gross motor skill. When happens? When your eye and hands are working, then only gross motor is being built. So that is how I believe. So I think both are equally should be given the balancing. When it goes through this thing, as I said, mapping will be very beautifully done. Then the journey goes very beautifully by having the creativity. So I believe in that.
I really like where you brought in the head, heart and hand concept.
Yes.
On that note, we conclude today's session. A big thank you to both of you for such thoughtful and insightful perspectives.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
for giving us this space.
What stands out clearly is that this isn't a question of choosing one over the other, but of finding a meaningful balance. While standardization can provide a strong foundation, it is creativity that allows children to explore, express, and truly enjoy the process of learning. As we move forward, perhaps the real challenge and opportunity lies in designing learning environments that are structured enough to guide, yet flexible enough to inspire. Thank you for watching Education News Network. For more such videos, do visit our channel, theenn.com, and make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. For now, signing off, this is Nitya Krishnamurthy.